Yo, 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 what's up? What's going on, everybody? How's everybody doing? Good morning, good morning. Thank you for tuning in to another Elliott Live Fitness Show. First thing we got to do, make sure my sound is working. Microphone is on. We are good to go. Let's get it. What's up, Philly? What's going on, Philly? Den, how you doing? Thank you for dropping in, sir. Thank you, thank you, thank you. How is life treating you? How you feeling this good morning? Am I cutting off my head? We'll fix that. There we go. How's everybody doing? Get my mic straight. We good? Yes, sir, yes, sir. We are good to go. We are good to go. Wait, make sure that other thing is showing. Is that working good? Yes, that is. Yes, that is. So far, so good. We are looking good in the neighborhood. Good morning. How's everybody doing today? How is everybody feeling? Is everybody up? Is everybody working? Is everybody on their way to work? Is everybody tired and don't want to go to work? What is going on? How y'all feeling today? How are y'all feeling? Yes, yes. Well, if you're not up, wake your ass up because we got a show for you today. Yes, we do have a good show for you today. We got a show for you today. And if you're headed to work and you don't feel good, then tell your boss I said. Let your boss know, boo, we don't want to go, we don't want to go. But thank y'all for being here. We greatly appreciate y'all. Yes, sir, yes, sir. I wish the landlord would have the AC on. Too humid out to open windows, but it's too hot in here. Where you at, Philly? What part of the world are you in, man? Because I know what you mean about the AC life. Because down here in Texas, AC in the summertime must be on in the day and the night. You turn the AC off at night, you're gonna sweat like it was the day. So you ain't got no choice. So where are you at, man? And give me the number to your landlord if you want me to do an anonymous call to him and give him, my personal feed. Not too far from Toronto. You're in Canada. Shout out to my Canada people. Shout out Canada. Oh, Canada. Shout out to y'all, man. How are y'all doing? Let me give y'all a round of applause, Canada. Yeah, shout out to y'all. My peeps in Canada. Yes. Some of the best wrestlers came out of Canada. I need to go to Canada. I've never been to Canada before. I don't know how Canada is, but at least is when you turn on the news, there's not much, as far as economics go, it's not too much good being said about Canada. But I want to go see for myself. I want to go up in there and see for myself and see what Canada life is like. I don't want to believe what I hear, because we all know me to be lying their tail off. So I need to go see Canada for myself. Find me a few Canadian women while I'm out there and just enjoy the history that Canada has. Go to different provinces and different places in Canada, man. And I'm gonna have to ask Philly and a few other people that are in Canada, what are some good places I should go to whenever I visit. And are they gonna let me cross over the border? Hopefully. I don't know. Lately, it's been getting harder and harder to get over to Canada, but hopefully y'all just let me slide on over with my little passport and everything. Y'all welcome me in with open arms. Capital cities for sure. Let me see. Capital cities gonna be. Let me see if I know my Canada. Vancouver. I don't know if these are capital cities. Just the cities I can think of on top of my head in Canada. We got Vancouver. We got Calgary, Alberta, Canada. Shout out to Lance Storm. We have Quebec. Is that part of it? And I think I got one more in me. Edmonton. Oh yeah, and y'all saw that thumbs up too, by the way. And I was sitting here thinking, hit that like button if you're on YouTube. By the way, we are streaming on 3 different platforms, y'all. We're on Twitch, Kick, and YouTube. If you're on Twitch and you get caught by an ad, go over to Kick and YouTube so you won't get caught in the ads, and then go back to Twitch or just stay on the other ones. Just whatever one you want to do. But please feel free to thank you, Queen, for lurking. Appreciate your shout out, and good morning to you. Good morning to you. Hopefully you show your face when I see you streaming later on. But good morning to you, Queen. Thank you for being in here. Like I said, if you're on Twitch and you come across an ad, remember we're always on Quick and YouTube as well. So you can give us a follow on YouTube, Kick, and Twitch. And also right here at the bottom, if you can see it right here, we got the Cash App and the Venmo. If you ever feel like sending your homeboy a donation, greatly appreciated. Because we're going to sit here and give you a nice little entertainment, nice show while you're on your way to work, at work, or want to cuss your boss out before you walk into work. You know what I mean? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We're gonna have to, we got our topics for today. We got fitness, so we got to see what's going on in fitness. What's up, Sublime? Glorious Sublime in the building. Shout out to you. Shout out to you. Shout out to you. Shout out to Queen, and shout out to Philly. Round of applause for y'all. Yes. And with our fitness topics, our four topics, we got fitness. Of course, we got to see what's going on in the fitness world because, your boy's an online fitness coach and a brand ambassador for Bucked Up. As you can see the cup logo back there. If you go to Linktree and get the discount code for 10% off, DEF 444 is the discount code. You go in there, get you some product that you want for 10% off and use my discount code, and man, it'll have you wired up and jigging and with the jitters. It's me is what I use for my pre-workouts in the gym. Man, stuff hits hard. Let me tell you, it feels great without the sweats though. You don't go in there just like sweating profusely or something like you just like took a hard hit of Breaking Bad or nothing like that. But of course, if you need some pre-workout or something to hit you with some good pre-workout motivation, you can grab that right there and use the discount code from yours truly. And we got fitness, of course. Going to check in on fitness and see how the fitness world is doing. Then we're going to switch over to dark humor. That's the section if you're sensitive and emotional and like to cancel people, you need to get the hell out for that time being. And then you can come back when we're done. You know what I'm saying? So you won't be in your fifis and crying all that nonsense. And of course, hit that like button. Then we got the economy. Today for the economy, I got something a little different. We're going to go over this video that I found about the mouse utopia. I don't know if you're familiar with it. I came across it. It's about the mouse utopia, how I forget the guy's name. He did a mouse utopia experiment, and he's going to explain how the way these mouse or rats or whatever you want to call it, we're going to say mouse because it's a mouse utopia, how the mouse basically are put into a lab experiment where they are given, like, one's given one kind of diet, one's given another kind of diet, and they kind of see how they live or interact. Then you have another experiment where you give them everything that they want and kind of see how civilization pans out. So it's really interesting. And it's like, how long is the video? Like 25 minutes or 45 minutes? Like 30 minutes. We'll say it's 30 minutes. So it's going to be a little longer because I'm going to stop and react to it. We're going to talk about it. But we're going to see the correlation that it has to humans and see if what their civilization and how it worked out with the experiment correlates to how we're living today. So that's going to be for the economic topic portion of the show today. I found it was really interesting. I really thought it was. I really thought it was interesting. And then last but not least, we got the AI segment of the show. You got the AI segment of the show, man. And the way AI is looking, if you ain't getting with it, man, you might get rolled over. So you might want to get on your AI stuff and pay attention, because before you know it, you never know, man. Things might get so serious that, yeah, it might be used against you and not for you. But anyway, I digress. But without further ado, thank you for being here. Thank y'all so much. We greatly appreciate y'all. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And I'm trying to make sure I can see good. Oh, yeah. And let me hit y'all with one of my favorite sound bites, because, of course, before we start the show, I got to let you people know that it is...
Prepare the meat, so don't.
You better get ready, because it's going to be a good one. I'm not going to lie to y'all. That is the best cheap coffee that I've ever bought and made. I've never heard of it before. I saw the price, tried something different. Folgers, had to put you on the shelf. Think you might have got beat out. 'Tis what it is. It's life. But anyway, let's go ahead and roll into the first part of the show. But before we do, do I have stuff still pulled up? Let me see what I got pulled up right here. Oh, man. All right, let's go ahead and blurb that out. Sheesh. Can't talk about what I just had pulled up right there. But anyway, let's go ahead and go to the first portion of the show. First portion of the show is going to be the fitness part. And we're going to start this part off with, let's see, how are we going to start it off? I think we're going to start off with this one. I think this will be a good one to start this one off with. Yeah, this will be nice. Yes. Yeah, we're going to do it with this one right here. Here we go. So we got somebody here, a particular lady right here. She's going to talk about what every female fitness influencer be like. She's like, this is how they be acting. This is what the female fitness influencers be acting. Is she right or is she wrong? You tell me. Let's find out. Okay, so as you can see right here, she says every female fitness influencer. As you can see, got the face cut off, but the face is nice though. You might be able to see it, you might not. If not, the body's nice. You can just put a paper bag on it. Anyway, I digress. Let's go ahead and see what she has to say. Roll the footage.
Hi guys, come watch me do absolutely fuck all in front of the camera, pretending to spread inspiration and positivity, even though I know you only care about seeing my dump truck. Typically, I'd put an audio over this video and write a huge caption about no matter the shape and size of your body, you are beautiful, when the real message I want to get across is how big my ass looks in these shorts, and for you to give me the likes and comments I need in order to feel validated. In my next post, I will then talk about how it's not nice to be objectified as a woman, even though I wear these tiny shorts that barely cover my fart box. See you next time. Ciao. Hi guys, come watch me do absolutely fuck all in front of the camera, pretending to spread inspiration and positivity, even though I know you only care about seeing my dump truck. Typically, I'd put an audio over this video and write a huge caption about no matter the shape and size of your body, you are beautiful, when the real message I want to get across is how big my ass looks in these shorts, and for you to give me the likes and comments I need in order to feel validated. In my next post, I will then talk about how it's not nice to be objectified as a woman, even though I wear these tiny shorts that barely cover my fart box. See you next time. Ciao. Hi guys, come watch me.
Okay. Shut up. But anyway, we're gonna have to go ahead and give her the man. I wish you could see her face the way I got it paused right here by accident, but like she's looking right at me. She's looking right back at me. Like sheesh.
Hi guys, come watch
Oh, another one?
Even though I know you'll be watching my fat ass because that's how I've set the camera up.
Okay.
I start with a pull
We'll
down
take it.
and necessarily poke my ass out before I sit, and then I move to a bent over row where I place the camera directly behind me for you to see that pussy fat.
Ooh.
After I do a next.
Hold on, let me get that out the way. There we go.
Size like side raises, because even though it's not a part of back day, it's a good angle for my ass. And then we come to the end of the video where I will stand with my ass in the camera and pretend that was a really hard workout. I'll then do a peace sign and walk off. See you next time.
Okay, we got a bonus footage right there, y'all. That was by accident. Sheesh, that was a accidental one. But I have to say is, I think she nailed it with that one. Let's go ahead and give her a round of applause. I think she nailed it with that one. I think she's right. That seems like what I see all the time. Let me go ahead and turn this bad boy down because that was loud. I don't know if y'all can hear the people outside mowing. It's pretty loud. Yeah, it's loud. I don't know if y'all can hear the weed whacker going off. But yeah, it's pretty loud right now. But do y'all think she hit the nail on the head with the fitness influencer thing? I think she did. I think she nailed it. I think she actually got it right on the money. That was pretty good. I'm gonna have to say for sure, like, yeah, she was right. She was right. I think she was pretty accurate. I don't think she was wrong. I think she was right. And she looked good doing it too. So we greatly appreciate her. So, you know, once again, yeah, let's go ahead and give her that recommendation. So let's go ahead and pull that one back. Alrighty. She gave us a bonus footage. She was in a good mood this morning. She was like, let me give y'all 2 videos instead of 1. I was like, hey, I'm not gonna argue with you, but you just can't be on my show too much. You have to, like, you know, get your ass off, move on. But however, we greatly appreciate her for doing what she did for us, you know, because yeah, she out here saving lives. But anyhow, we're gonna move on to the next one, and the next one we have here, this is maybe I should leave them up like this. You ever thought about that, Danny? I think I'm gonna leave them up like this and then just go across. That makes more sense. Yeah, it does make more sense to do it like this. Oh, wow. Why not just think of this before? Anyhow, fitness crazy. Yeah, you know what it is. But hold on, Queen. Before you disappear, check this out. If you ever need help with any of your fitness tips or anything, I have a video of what it could be like if I was your fitness coach, and I just want to share this with you so you could. So, and this is only for you though. This is the special package for you. Not everybody will get these. Not everybody's gonna get this special kind of treatment when it comes to fitness, you know, because not everybody is you, Queen. That's the whole thing. So let me go ahead and show you the special package that you would get, the special exclusive VIP package you would get. So let's go ahead and pull this up on the screen for you. Here we go. So this is the as you can see, that's me, the personal trainer, with the yellow green headband on with the super cool shades, and this will be one of the clients. This will be the VIP package that you'll be receiving. Let's go ahead and roll the footage. Let's see what you'll get. Here we go.
Is crucial, and arms up. Stretching is crucial, and arms up and down. That's so lovely. That would dog good. Yes. See, that's what excites me about that. It's about the sharp, solid movements. Down. Yes. Fast, hard, and deep. Go. 1. Down. Good girl. 2. Down. 3. Down. Warrior workout. Who are you?
Me!
Feel the burn. Who are you?
I don't know.
Who are you?
Warrior!
Say it.
Warrior!
You're a warrior.
I'm a warrior!
Upward dog. Good. Say it.
I'm a warrior!
Good. Now give it to me. 1. Go. 2. Push me off. Deep. You gotta go deep. You gotta go deep. Resistance training. It's fundamental. Now push me off. Deep. Go. Yes. Extreme fitness.
Yep.
In the camera and pretend
That's what it's
that
gonna be. And when you get done with that VIP package, I guarantee 100% that your body will end up looking like this right here. This is what you're gonna end up looking like when you get that one-on-one fitness coaching. Guarantee 100%, or you get your money back. Okay. Guarantee you get that kind of fitness coaching, your body's gonna shape up just like that, boy, just like that in no time. You're just gonna see everything melting off and just going to Coke bottle structures. Just, I mean, that was some very hard, tedious strength training right there, and not everybody can actually pull that off because
Stretching
you have to have a
crucial.
certain kind of motivation and dedication for your clients to do stuff like that. You know what I mean? I'm just kidding. Oh, just kidding, man. It's early in the morning. I gotta have something to laugh at. But let's go ahead and watch that one more time for those who didn't see it. Here we go. So special treatment from your not me, but from this guy who created his extreme fitness. This ain't what I do though. I'm just kidding. I'm just joking. It's just a joke. So don't get in your fifis. But here we go. Let's check him out again.
Stretching is crucial, and arms up and down. That's so lovely. That would dog good. Yes. See, that's what excites me about that. It's about the sharp, solid movements. Down. Yes. Fast, hard, and deep. Go. 1. Down. Good girl. 2. Down. 3. Down. Warrior workout. Who are you?
Me!
Feel the burn. Who are you?
I don't know.
Who are you?
Warrior!
Say it.
Warrior!
You're a warrior.
I'm a warrior!
Upward dog. Good. Say it.
I'm a warrior!
Good. Now give it to me. 1. Go. 2. Push me off. Deep. You gotta go deep. You gotta go deep. Resistance training. It's fundamental. Now push me off. Deep. Go. Yes. Extreme fitness.
Gotta love it. Gotta love it. Extreme fitness, baby. In the building. In the building. And shout out to him for making that video. And if that's how he does his fitness coaching, we're gonna also give a special shout out to his future SA cases he will be catching in the future, because he's gonna get a bunch of them. So shout out to his future lawsuits that are pending, because he's gonna be earning them. He's putting his lawsuits on camera. His attorney gonna be like, his attorney gonna be in there fighting for him. His attorney gonna be like, Your Honor, my client has done no such thing of that nature. This is just hearsay evidence. And then the other side gonna be like, roll the footage. And then he gonna see that video and he gonna be like, oh my God, like, you ain't giving me nothing to work with, is you? Really? Downward dog? Her face is right in your. Oh my God. You know what? You're going to jail. He's like, you're going to jail. Like, I can't help you. You're a wildin' out here. What is wrong with you? Oh boy. But anyhow, let's go on to the next one. So the next one that we have, next fitness, what is it? Fitness video, whatever you want to call it. The next one that we got here. Oh man, here we go. So The next one that we have here is this is a special tech. I don't know what you want to call this, but this is a special workout. We'll just say it like that. This is a special workout. Let's see what kind of workout that we got going on here. So, Buddy here is trying something new, and let's see if it works. Let's go ahead and check him out and see how he's doing. Cause oh man, is my kick on? My people on kick? Peeps on kick. How y'all looking over there? Y'all good? Are y'all okay? I can't even see if the screen is up. Excuse me. Uh-oh. We're having technical difficulties over there on that side of life. We'll be okay. We will get it fixed. There it is. We're fixed. Okay, cool. So anyway, let's go into this next video. So the next video that we got right here is another fitness workout. But let's see how this fitness workout pans out. So let's go ahead and check it out and roll the footage. Here we go. All right. So as we see here, we got looks like we got us a nice little gymnast. She could be a contortionist, but I'm gonna go with gymnast because she's on the steel rings, and we're gonna see who this dude is. Is he a coach teaching her a new move? I don't know, but let's see if we can figure out how this situation goes. Here we go. Oh, I gotta turn the music off.
Just spread the you gotta do spread your legs a little bit. What I haven't lied to you. Jump up, grab that back. Alright, listen. No, get up there. Yeah, that's it, man. Alright, listen. You want that blue tick? Yeah.
Oh no! Run! Oh no! Uh-oh, homie got violated. Yikes. Man. I don't know. That was a look on his face before he got violated. I don't think he was too upset. I really don't. He doesn't seem like he's fighting. He doesn't. He's looks like he has that look like, oh yeah, on his face. But I digress. We're gonna run this back one more time, okay? So let's go ahead and run that back one more time. So I gotta mute it for this section for the music, okay? All right, I think she likes it. Yeah, she does like it. You know, she did like it. Look at her face. Look. She's like, what are you doing? She felt that, then she felt the wood the second time. She was like, oh man, look at that. She was like, oh. She's like, wow. Look at her face. She's like, oh yeah. That's that look on her face. That first tap, she was like, what was that? The second tap, she was like, oh yeah. She knew what that was. She knew. Let's go ahead and let him finish.
Are you sure you have to do this? Look, just spread you gotta do spread your legs a little bit. What I haven't lied to you. Jump up, grab that back. Alright, listen. No, get up there. Yeah, that's it, man. Alright, listen. You want that blue tick? Yeah. Just gonna go under, yeah? Alright, do your thing. Yeah.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
What are you talking about?
What the fuck?
Yeah. He wanted to try that on him. Yeah. Yikes. Yikers. No judgment zone over here. It's just not my thing. But man, oh man. What we got here? K1NG. Oh, Jesus. I can't say this whole name that you have, but what's up? Thank you for the follow. I greatly appreciate you. I can't say your name. I wish I had a name for you. I'm going to call you K1. K1. Yes, K1. Bam. There's a flex for you. There you go. K1 in the building. Appreciate the follow, K1. Good looking out. We greatly appreciate you. Yeah, K1 is what I'm going to call you because that is a whole name. K1, we have been here doing this, and we are on Twitch, Kick, and YouTube, streaming simultaneously on all 3 platforms, and we're working on getting to TikTok next. That may take me about a week or so. We'll see how that goes. but we're doing all 3 platforms. And if you're getting the ad on this one, you can go over to Kick and YouTube, and so you don't get caught behind an ad. Link tree is in my whatever you want to call it down at the bottom, and whatever platform you're on, so you can find the other ones. We greatly appreciate you for being here. Thank you. All right, so the next video that we have we're gonna X that one out. We don't need that one. We don't need that one up. All right, so we got this one right here. This guy, a little short little video clip. This guy here, he is at a event. And he's at an event, and basically he's just giving his opinion on what he's seeing right now and what these people out here doing at wee hours in the morning. So let's go ahead and check him out. Here we go. So we got this gentleman right here, and let's let him cook. Here we go.
Dude, y'all white people are crazy in the morning. It's like 6 a.m. The entire street is filled with people. Dude, y'all white people are crazy in the morning. It's like 6 a.m. The entire street is filled with people.
I support it. He says the white people are crazy. I'll be right out there with them. 6 in the morning. We doing jumping jacks. We get ready for this run. Let's get it. Whew. Oh man. Oh, that's at the bottom. Yuck. But yeah, I'm with them on that one. I support it. I support that for sure. For sure. I would be out there with them getting it in. I sure would. I'd be out there like, oh yeah, let's get this workout in. Let's go. Let's go, let's go, let's go. I'm here for it. So round of applause to all them people out there that was getting it in at 6 a.m. in old St. Louis. They was in St. Louis doing a Something Coach Summit. I support it. I'm here for it. I like it. I like it. So, you know, if it's about fitness, we got to get with it, because right now taking care of your body is a very, very important thing. If you can't take care of your body, trust me, Big Pharma will, and they will be happy to do so by doping you up on all sorts of drugs that you ain't ever thought that you would be taking. Side effects will be many. These side effects go with these side effects, and these side effects go with these side effects, and these side effects go with these side effects, and you'll be in just this loop of side effects and can't figure out what it is that you're, dealing with, because you're on so many different kind of legal drugs. So shout out to you. And also remember this, when the people are on that many kind of drugs with different kind of side effects, is they could be on barbiturates and opioids and all that stuff all at the same time, and these people still get to go to work, fail a drug test, and deal with you and serve you. And that could be in any field. So always keep that in mind. So, your nurse, your doctor, or anybody could be on these different kind of drugs and are treating you as they are high on legal drugs. Keep that in mind. So please take care of your health, take care of your fitness. That's why I'm a strong proponent for that type of lifestyle. Stay in the gym, eat healthy, take care of yourself, get good sleep. Because you might end up taking a long sleep. Anyhow, let's go on to the next one. So let's see the next video that we got here. Oh man, did I lose it?
Cut these two weird.
Okay, here we go. So we got this one here, and we got this one. This lady says she's catching these 2 weirdos. Let me pull this up on you first. Let's read it together. Do a double bicep. Nah. Can't do a double bicep. One is all you get. You're asking for too much. Come on now. I mean, you want to see all the flex, you can go to my social medias. It's all there. All right, so we got this one right here. This lady saying she caught these 2 weirdos taking pictures of me at the gym. Well, we got one already looking. Homie over here is already, he's already zoomed in on his ling right here. He's like, man, look at this. Look at this little small, little petite frame. He's got his eye on her boy. He's like, Like as soon as she gets up and start doing some bent over rows on the bar, he's gonna zero in. He's gonna be like, yeah. That's what he's gonna be like. At least that's what I think. I think that's what he's gonna be like. As soon as she gets up and starts working out, homie gonna be like, oh yeah. But anyway, enough of me. Let's get to the video. Roll the footage. Here we go.
Caught these 2 weirdos taking pictures of me at the gym.
Uh-oh. Not the flash. Oh. Oh.
Excuse me? Wait, airdrop what? Can I help you guys?
Workout plan. Can I help you?
Because you guys have been like staring at me and like I'm just a little uncomfortable.
Nobody's staring at you. One of those gym videos where you just think you fucking stare. You must be cross-eyed.
Cross-eyed?
Wait, if you noticed us staring at you, you must have been staring at us.
Oh, fuck.
Oh, he pulled the Uno reverse card at the end. Oh, that was a good one. Let's catch that one more time.
Caught these two weirdos taking pictures of me at the gym.
They got the flash on. Am I tripping? Look at his shirt. Look at this dude's shirt. He is wildin'. That's hilarious. With the army roll on him. The army roll. They got the
Excuse
flash
me?
on.
Wait,
With the
airdrop what?
flash.
Can I help you guys?
Workout plan. Can I help you?
Because you guys have been like staring at me and like I'm just a little uncomfortable.
Nobody's staring at you. One of those gym videos where you just think you fucking stare. You must be cross-eyed.
Cross-eyed?
Wait, if you noticed us staring at you, you must have been staring at us.
Oh, fuck.
Got him. Did you hear that? He said, if you see us staring at you, that means you must have been staring at us. What he really said in short term, he said,
Shut up, bitch!
That's basically what he said. You know what I mean? That's basically what he told her. Because she came over there, even though he was in the wrong, he basically just hit her with the Uno reverse card. And he was just like, look, I'm tired of hearing this nonsense. Just.
Shut up, bitch!
That's basically what he said. He came with it. Okay, I got this. What is this bug over here flying in my face like a fruit fly? Go away. Go away before I have to kill you live on stream. All right, we're good. We're here. We're back. So shout out to them people on that skit that they just had on there. Let's go ahead and give them a round of applause for the entertainment. We appreciate that one. That was good. I like that. And to all the gym creeps out there, if you're gonna be creepy and take photos, don't do it. And man, just don't have it. if you hopefully you got your flash on so you can get caught, because they had their flash on. That was pretty funny. I like that one. All right, so what we got next here. So next one we got. Oh man, we got to turn this one on. We got to turn the sound off for this one. So this one is somebody decided to go to the gym. I'm assuming that they went to Planet Fitness, because Planet Fitness usually be having debauchery go on all over the place. So let's see what we got going on here. I can't play the sound of the video because they got music and I'm not trying to get a copyright and all that nonsense that goes with it. So let's just go ahead and watch the video. Here it comes. All right, so we got this video right here. We got homie over here doing a kettlebell. This is his kettlebell workout he's doing for the day. You know what I mean? Hey, who knows? He could be doing special kind of training. But let's see what happens when he decided to go to the gym. Roll the footage. Alrighty. Got homie here. He's about to do a power clean, I'm assuming, or deadlift. Oh, what in the world? What was that? Alright, he's got people over there doing weird things. Oh, man, got something in my eye. Okay, she is, I guess, rolling her calf muscles. I'm going to give her the benefit of the doubt. That could be fixed. That could be fixed. Oh, yikes. Oh, let go. Oh, yeah, she was holding on for dear life. I know her shins probably got burned. Her shins probably got burned up. Hey, that move she was doing, that's going to be good for your hip flexors. I'm going to tell you that right now. Train your hip flexors. That's loud. I know that's loud. That is extremely loud. Okay, you using the lat machine for squats. I guess you can do that. All right. Just some people who need some encouragement, some direction going on right there. I mean, yeah. Okay. Don't be making fun of people in the gym. Don't be making fun of people trying to get their stuff right in the gym. Give you a... Oh, whoops. Wrong one. Give you a... For making fun of people in the gym. They wasn't that bad. They wasn't that bad. You could have helped them out. You could have helped them instead of making fun of them. You could have helped them. But anyhow, let's roll over to our next one. Our next video that we got here. I think this is the last one for the fitness part. I think this is. Yeah, I see him. I can see him. Do you hear me running the show? I know you do. So anyway, we have this guy right here. So our last one on the fitness segment right here is this gentleman right here. This should be some motivation as to why you should stay on top of your game and stay on top of your fitness, okay? We got this gentleman here. He is, I believe he is, let me see. Let me pull this up. Let me pull this up. Here we go. So we got this gentleman right here. As you can see, he is 53 years old as on the making of this video. So this is from 2022. He's 53 years old. So what up, Hunter? How you doing? Appreciate you, sir. It was nice dropping in your stream earlier, man. Thank you. I finally caught you because you're super early in the morning, but you know, I was able to drop in on your stream and catch you and see how you get down, and I enjoyed it. So y'all go check out my man Hunter, and I'll go ahead and put him in the whatchamacallit, hit him with a shout out. I gotta hit everybody with a shout out, actually. I don't want to mess it up. Is it Ice Hunter? I think it's Ice Hunter. I think it is. I think it's official Ice Hunter. Let's see if I got it right, because when I hit this enter button, it'll let me know if I got it right or wrong. I was right. Yes, sir, it is. All right. Let me hit here. I got to hit everybody else with a shout out as well, because I always do, and for some reason, I forget to. But anyway, go check him out, man. Official Hunter. Man, it was nice seeing you play, man. You were really dominating in that game. I can't remember what game you're playing, but you were dominating in it. Shout out to you, man. And happy anniversary on your, you know, I mean, may your mother rest in peace, but you know, you're celebrating an anniversary today, so much love. So we got right here, I really appreciate that. That means a lot, brother. Hope your day is going well. That KS for the shout out. Oh, thanks for the shout out. Oh, of course, man. Of course, man. I greatly appreciate you, man. Thank you. So what we got right here is we got this gentleman right here who is 53 years old. 53 years old. This is what he's doing. So let's check him out. And let's get him pulled up on the screen. Now let's just show how this man is doing. Oh, he's already up on the screen. So let's show what happens if you stay in the gym and keep your fitness right at all times, man. You could be like this at 53. Oh, gotta turn that music off. But let's just watch him work. Look at this. 53 years old. 53, man. And that is not easy to do. He gonna make me start adding that to my workout routine. Look at this. I'm gonna have to start adding that, because if I'm not mistaken, if he's using the bar, I think he's using that bar as 45 pounds. I'm gonna assume those are 10-pound plates on the end, so that's what, 65 pounds total. Unless those are 25-pound plates, then that's 95 pounds total, or at least around that. That is not easy. That is hard. Sublime, glorious, sublime. What's going on? I appreciate the lurk. Check this man out. 53, y'all. 53. Look at him. Just like with ease, fluid motion. That is highly impressive. I'm going to keep that going. Highly impressive. He is ripped. I know, man. 53. Look at him. He's chilling at the crib. You know what I mean? His neighbors is back here, probably hating on him. All his neighbors hate him because they wives be looking at him because he fit at 53 and they got beer bellies and beer guts, and he just out here training. They be out there, you know, picking up the wives be probably telling the husband that they finna go mow the lawn and shit when they see him out there and everything. They like, hey, I'm finna go take out the trash, husband. He's like, oh no, you don't. Get your ass back in here. You know what I mean? But check him out though. It's 53, yo. That is amazing, man. That is motivation to stay in the gym. He ain't even in the gym. He outside in his front yard or backyard, chilling, minding his own business, doing his own workout routine. Just getting it in. Sheesh. Shout out to him. Shout out to him. That was fantastic. I gotta give him another shout out. We gotta give him the victory music on that one. Yes, so that's a motivation for you, man. Just always stay fit. Don't ever stop. Constantly stay in the gym, stay on your fitness. Keep, with your workouts. Don't quit them. Don't quit them, because it's going to be better to stay in shape than it's going to be to take medications for the rest of your day or be in and out of the hospital with surgery and all that nonsense and taking meds and pain meds and painkillers and visits and trips to the hospital and just stay in shape. Just deal with the pain now so you won't have to suffer the consequences of the pain later, because you're going to get pain on both ends. Pain going to the gym or the pain not going to the gym in the future. So, I mean, just pick one. The choice is still yours. I'll be lurking, mate. Have a good one. Appreciate you. Thank you. Hunter, I appreciate you. So we're on to the next segment of the show, and this is going to be the dark humor segment of the show. Alrighty. One love, man. One love. And we got this dark humor segment of the show. This is the part of the show where if you're sensitive, please, leave and come back later. But let's go ahead and pull this first one up. So the first one we have from a TV show called, I think it's called Family Feud. So let's see what the humor is in this one. This says it goes from bad to worse. So let's see. Let's go check this out and see how this goes. All right, so we got this here. And let's see how this pans out. From bad to worse. How much worse can it get? Let's find out.
Name something or someone you should stop sleeping with as an adult. Alana.
Your boss.
Your boss. Wow.
Mommy.
Your boss. John.
Children.
John, did you really? One more time.
Name something or someone you should stop sleeping with as an adult. Alana.
Your boss.
Your boss. Wow.
Mommy.
Your boss. John.
Children.
He didn't say that. Tell me he didn't just say that.
Yes, he did. He did say that. He said that with the quickest of the quickness, with no hesitation whatsoever. That man came in and was like, children. I was like, bruh, what is wrong with you? Like, really? Why would that even be your first answer? Now, I understand he's trying to get the answer right, but...
He didn't say that. Tell me he didn't just say that.
Oh, but he did. He did. And he said it with a quickness. Get that man out of there. Go ahead and pending divorce on the way. Who knows? His wife might be down with the get down, unfortunately. You know how crazy people are in today's world. But anyway, I'm going to move on to our next one for the dark humor segment. I got it. Oh man, and for my peoples, today has been I think the dark humor segment is targeted at my people today, so my apologies if you get offended, but yeah, it was a lot of them aimed at us. So on the chin today, we got to take these dark humors on the chin today. My people, if you're sensitive, you're going to get your feelings hurt, because today's dark humor, what I was finding, seemed to be targeting at us the most, but usually everybody can get it, but today, I don't know why, but it just ended up, we was getting it the worst. But anyway, let's go ahead and put up this next dark humor video. Let's see what we got here. All right, here we go. So we got my level of dark humor is what it says up here. Let's go ahead and see what this level of dark humor is.
Help! Help! What the fuck are you doing, Andrew?
You said to get rid of all the black guys.
Black ice. Motherfucker! Help! Help! What the fuck are you doing, Andrew?
You said to get rid of all the black guys.
Black ice. Motherfucker!
What the fuck?
Oh no.
Help! Help! What the fuck are you doing, Andrew? You said to get rid of all the black guys. Black ice. Motherfucker!
Oh no.
I said, goddamn. Goddamn.
He wasn't ready for that one.
Help! Help! What the fuck are you doing, Andrew? You said to get rid of all the black guys. Black ice. Motherfucker!
Oh man. He was like, oh, that's just.
What? What?
Oh man. He said black ice. Not. Oh man. He should have had that same energy regardless when he was screaming help. He should have already been able to fight back. But for some reason he couldn't. He just had to get offended in order to fight back. Makes no sense. But whatever. To each his own.
I pulled you over?
Alright, so we got this next one here. We had a gentleman who was getting pulled over in his vehicle. And we're going to see what happens with his situation as he get pulled over and find out why the officer has pulled him over. I don't know why, but we're going to figure out, see what's going on and why he gets pulled over. Hopefully everything is okay. Because, you know how these situations can get. Especially during election time, you know what I mean? It gets pretty bad out there. But let's go ahead and see what's going on. Let's see. So they say they both let their souls do the talking. Well, what are they talking about? Let's go ahead and find out. Let's see. So here we go. Let's roll the footage.
I pulled you over? I pulled you over?
Because I'm black?
Yeah. No. Your wife fell out of the car about a mile back. No wonder it was so quiet. I pulled you over?
Because I'm black?
Yeah. No. Your wife fell out of the car about a mile back. No wonder it was so quiet.
Give him another one. Yeah. That piece that he was getting was priceless. He didn't even care why it was so quiet. He was just like... He was just rolling. He was like, man, she must be asleep. She must be really tired. He was just enjoying life. He didn't care why it was so quiet. He didn't even care to look back and see if she was asleep. He was like, man, she finally shut up. But that peace of mind that he was getting back there, he was like, I don't know what got her to be quiet, but I'm here for it. And needless to say, homie ended up finding out that his wife done fell out the back of the car. Like, come on, bro. You didn't even hear her fall out the back of the car. Shame on you. Shame on you. That's not it. However, we are going to run that one more time, though.
I pulled you over?
Because I'm black?
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
Your wife fell out of the car about a mile back. No wonder it was so quiet.
Hey, deep down inside, this is what he felt like. This is what he felt like deep down inside. That's true. That's what he felt like deep down inside. Man was happy as ever, boy. He was like, this is fantastic. Like, shit, this is great. Like, man, like our marriage is gonna take it to the next level. But anyway, let's move on to the next one that we have here. Let's see what we got. And pull this one up like this. Man, this is so much better. I don't know why I ain't thought about this a long time ago. I should always just do them like this. That makes more sense instead of me pulling them up and doing them over there. Anyhow, so we got this right here. Let's see. We got a gentleman sleep, and he says the only thing that will wake up a black person. Let's see what's the only thing that will wake a black person up. Can you guess what it is? Can anybody guess what it is? Can anybody guess what is the only thing that'll wake up a black person? It's okay. No judgment zone over here. What do you think it is? What do you think it could possibly be that will wake up a black person? Anybody give their guess? Anybody give their opinion? Anybody? Somebody? No? Okay. Let's just go ahead and roll the footage and see. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
Who touched that fan?
I think he's right. You'll for some reason know that fan get cut off. I don't know why, but you will. But look what he slept through. Thunderstorm. You hear the smoke alarm go off? Slept through gunshots. Which anybody gonna wake up from gunshots? Dog barking. Fire alarm.
Who touched that fan?
Once you feel that fan cut off, that heat coming from that breeze that's no longer blowing, and it's not just the sound of the fan. It is the sound, the noise it makes, but it's not the click, but it's like the it's the when you feel that feeling stop, and you're like, hold on, why is it so hot in here? That's what it is. You feel that feeling, that breeze no longer blowing on your body. Pause. It's just like, what's causing this heat to come over my body right now? But anyhow, I digress. Let's see what we got left. How many more of these we got? We got some dad jokes. Do we have one or two left? Let me double check and see.
Excuse me.
Oh man, that's a bad one. But we're gonna watch that one too. All right, it's cool. So we got we got two more left. So we got a dad joke. Dirty jokes with my mom. Oh, not dad joke. Dirty jokes with my mom. Oh boy, this is a bad start. This is a bad start already. Dirty jokes with my mom, part 65. Oh my goodness. Okay. Let's see what the dirty joke is with mom. Here we go. Let's hear it.
Hey Mom. Have you ever realized how like hoey girls and Walmarts are similar? Because you all laugh and make fun of them, but once you're inside one at 4 a.m., you're like, God damn, I'm glad these are here.
Why he's laughing too hard?
I've never heard that one before.
I'm gonna tell you right now, Dad has a side piece. Dad got a side piece. He's like, that is so relatable. Let's hear that one more time. Look how hard Dad is laughing, because you know in his head, he's like, boy, that is so true.
Hey Mom. Have you ever realized how like hoey girls and Walmarts are similar? Because you all laugh and make fun of them, but once you're inside one at 4 a.m., you're like, God damn, I'm glad these are here.
I've never heard that one before.
Dad's sitting over there like, that is so true. Oh, man. Yeah, Dad has a side piece. Dad for sure has a side piece, because he's like, that is so true. I never thought of it like that before. He's like, man, that's facts. That's facts. That's why he laughing so hard, because he thinking about his side piece right then and there on the spot. He's like, dang. So the next time he goes see his side piece and he up inside of her, he's going to be thinking to himself like, yeah, I'm glad this is here. I'm very fortunate to have this. She's helping me keep my marriage intact. Anyhow, let's move on to the next one. The last one that we got here as far as dark humor jokes. What is this? This one, what was this one? Creeper. Oh yeah. All right. So we got one more. We got one last one. We got one final one, and this is the this is an iPhone joke for you iPhone users out there. Let's see what we got here. This one says, point of view when you find a lost iPhone. What happens when you find a lost iPhone? Actually, let's pull that back. We'll leave it right there. I think that's good. Here we go. So let's see what they say.
Excuse me, mate. Is your name iPhone?
No.
Well, it says here iPhone is disabled. So I thought it must have been yours. Excuse me, mate. Is your name iPhone?
No.
Well, it says here iPhone is disabled. So I thought it must have been yours.
Yeah, that was pretty brutal.
What the fuck?
That was pretty brutal. That I wasn't expecting that one.
I said, God damn. God damn.
He got him with that one. Luckily they were both laughing, but that was yeah. He got him. I guess he ain't had nothing. I guess he ain't had no choice but to laugh, cause and what's he gonna do? You know, he really is disabled. You know what I mean? Like he kind of had to take it on the chin.
Oh my God.
It is what it is. He had to take it on the chin. There was nothing he could do. I mean, the only other option that he would have had if he was able to would probably be, you know, that would be his only other option. He would have to be like, all right, fool, you gonna make fun of me for being in this wheelchair? You think that joke is funny? He gonna be like, check it out. You still think it's funny? You still think it's funny? Yeah. Laugh now. Laugh now. Yeah. Now we both disabled. Ha. Ha. Got him. But I digress. Don't do that. That's not nice. He shouldn't do that. But he did hit him with extremely below the belt joke. But he laughed it off, so we're all good. We're all good. Everybody's happy in a happy place. But anyhow, that is it for that segment of the show. We are done with the dark humor portion, and now we are on to the economy. And the way we're going to tackle the economy on this one is with this Mouse Utopia portion of the show. This video is called Mouse Utopia Experiments, and it's going down a rabbit hole of understanding how this Mouse Utopia thing worked. And this is by this video is by somebody named Frederick Knudsen, and basically just speaks on a social experiment that was done by a particular individual. I forget the guy's name, if I can find it right here. No, I can't find the guy's name. But they're going to explain it and everything, and we're going to go through this video and react to it and stop and go and react to it as we go. We're going to see if I guess we can just the best way to describe it is does this mouse economy or utopia experiment have any similarities to us and how our life is, to see if the conditions that they were given were similar to the conditions that we live in, and if they correlate on how things are or how things could possibly pan out. So it's going to be an interesting take. I think this take is going to be pretty interesting because, I mean, I saw some of it and I thought it was very, very intriguing. I felt like it would fit in the economy section of the show because it kind of has that feel to it. Not really feel, but it kind of has that type of understanding as to how it is explained and how the experiment was done. So let's go ahead and just dive into this. Let's go ahead and take a look at this. Like I said, it's called Mouse Utopia. It's a experiment, and the guy's name is Frederick Knudsen or Cudson. I can't say his name. I'm gonna say it's Knudsen. I think the K is silent. So let's go ahead and pull this up, and we're gonna react to it as we go along. Alrighty. So without further ado, let's go ahead and run this video. Here we go.
Of the strange research to...
Oh no, don't do this to us now. Oh, they're doing it to us now. Oh no, not this. Alright. I'm gonna have to get YouTube Red or whatever you want to call it at some point, so we won't have that happen anymore. But here we go, we're back at it. So let's go. And is that my caption? Here we go. Uh-oh, I got the sound off.
Exist. Calhoun.
Oh no, I actually want. Here we go. Let's start it from the beginning, from the top. Here we go.
Of the strange research to come out of mid-1900s America, there is little with a legacy as enduring or as terrifying as the mouse utopia experiments. Taking place throughout the 50s, 60s, and early 70s, the grim fate of the subjects was published in the national magazine Scientific American, and the experiments themselves were largely taken as apocalyptic portents. In a post-war United States, the language used to describe the results such as behavior sync became synonymous with fears of an overpopulated world and violent, deviant behavior in cities. Today, they are preserved within fiction such as Channel 4's conspiracy thriller Utopia and the classic animated movie The Secret of NIMH.
Our world began changing.
So what were the mouse utopia experiments?
So this is 50s, 60s, and 70s experiments. And it was depicted in the movie The House of NIMH, I think is what they said. Interesting. Let's keep it moving.
Shortly after World War II, a group known collectively as the Environmentalists were making a large push to prevent environmental degradation, as well as overexploitation of the planet's renewable resources. Among these people were a group specifically known as the Neo-Malthusians, a term referring to the 18th and 19th century English scholar Thomas Robert Malthus. Malthus proposed that while the world's population may increase exponentially, food production can only increase linearly, leading to an eventual subsistence-level existence for the human race that became known as a Malthusian catastrophe. While advancements such as the Green Revolution saw that this didn't come about, the Neo-Malthusians acknowledged his concerns about overpopulation and feared that this pattern would result in the collapse of civilization or, at best, have extreme adverse effects.
Okay, so his fear was overpopulation and not enough food for everyone. That was his fear. That guy from the 18th century, I believe. His fear was not enough food for the population. Then the Green Revolution came in, but still to kind of combat that. However, they were still worried about the population increasing and trying to feed everyone with the increasing population. So we got that out the way. So let's go.
These fears were given a platform in writing of the time, especially in works such as William Folkt's Road to Survival in 1948, and perhaps most famously, Silent Spring by Rachel Carson in 1962. Before the movement's explosion of popularity in the 50s and 60s, however, researchers had already begun work investigating the effects of population growth, and among them was a man named John B. Calhoun. Born in 1917, Calhoun took an early interest in science, specifically ornithology, publishing his first paper on birds when he was 15, but over time, his interest would change. By the time he received his PhD, his focus had turned to ethology, the study of animal behavior. When his education was concluded, he moved with his family to Towson, Maryland, to begin research at Johns Hopkins University in nearby Baltimore, but the research itself would be conducted much closer to home. In 1947, shortly after he arrived, he approached his neighbor about using some of their neglected property for an experiment. The scope would be massive, and according to Calhoun, his neighbor probably didn't expect such a scale when they agreed to let him use the forested area. Taking over a quarter of an acre, Calhoun constructed a massive habitat, complete with food, water, ample shelter, and protection from predators, with the only limiting condition being their restriction to the quarter-acre living space.
So this experiment is on a quarter-acre of real land. This is a quarter-acre experiment that he used. A quarter-acre, that's a big chunk of land to do a mouse experiment on. He was determined to figure this out. So it's very interesting that he used it on a on a scale so massive, because whenever we think of lab experiments or lab utopia, you think of like a confined space for the experiment to pan out. You know what I mean? You think of the space to be confined, but he used a 1/4 acre of land to do this. This is very interesting.
Fortunately provided his enclosure a name, Rat City. Unfortunately, no publicly available images of Rat City exist. Calhoun was very familiar with Norway rats, having performed research on them for his doctorate, and he estimated that Rat City could sustain approximately 5,000 individuals, though if they reached this number, the population density would be tight. He began by placing 5 pregnant females in the enclosure, providing ample genetic diversity, and soon the population was increasing exponentially. But then something surprising happened. Rather than the population increasing to fill the space of the enclosure, it quickly leveled off at 150 members. He also noted some behavioral peculiarities. Despite the large size of Rat City, the residents seemed to gather around just a few places, forming social groups of 12 and limiting themselves to specific feeding locations. He would conclude the experiment after 2 years and 4 months, during which the population never grew over 200. Careful observation revealed the cause: high infant mortality. For some reason, as the experiment progressed and the population increased, the mothers were not caring for their young properly, leading to most of them dying before reaching maturity. Calhoun had his theories as to why this was, but to prove them, he would need more data.
So that was 2 years and 4 months he ran that experiment. The most that they ever had, the most that the rats ever reproduced up to was up to 200. He started out with 5 pregnant females. They didn't get past 200, and the issue was infant mortality. And they all congregated, and they didn't even use the whole area. They congregated in like little sections off with groups up to 12. Interesting. So that was the first experiment.
In 1954, about 5 years after his initial experiment concluded, he was hired by the National Institute of Mental Health, often shortened to NIM. Within the laboratory of psychology, Calhoun was given ample resources to continue his work. With a team, he began feverishly designing and constructing habitats, sometimes referred to as universes, where he performed numerous smaller-scale and more controlled versions of his original rat study on a domesticated strain of albino Norway rat. These rats would want for nothing. All physical needs for a healthy rat lifestyle would be provided for them, including food, water, climate control, and nesting material. Calhoun spent 8 years perfecting his enclosures and methods until finally, in February of 1962, an article of his writing was published in the magazine Scientific American. The article was entitled Population Density and Social Pathology. His opening paragraph ominously reads so, quote, "In the celebrated thesis of Thomas Malthus, vice and misery impose the ultimate natural limit on the growth of populations. Students of the subject have given most of their attention to misery, that is, to predation, disease, and food supply as forces that operate to adjust the size of a population to its environment. But what of vice? Setting aside the moral burden of this word, what are the effects of the social behavior of a species on population growth, and of population density on social behavior?" Unquote. To answer this question, he cited 6 of his experiments in particular, all with similar composition and concerningly similar results. The design...
Okay, wait, so this is his second experiment. I'm not sure if he said this experiment is 8 years long or he took 8 years to put together. But this experiment, he gave them everything that they needed. Food, resources, everything. So they were living in basically a utopia. So these rats had everything that they needed. They were good to go. Food, water, shelter, everything. So they started off with everything. They didn't need for nothing. And the issue that they had was they were looking at the natural limit on the growth of the population on what started with vices and misery. And the main thing that they also noticed the attention to was that from misery was the predation, disease, and food supply, which gave them a reason to adjust the size of its population. And one of the main things was they looked at is the vice. what vices did these rats have? What up, Prime? Happy Wednesday. Thank you for being here. We're going over this Mouse Utopia video as far as part of the economic portion of the show. So we're gonna see exactly how this panned out, which is really interesting, because then it seemed like the vice was a really, really big issue, because vice is what are the effects it has on social behavior. So let's continue.
Particular, all with similar composition and concerningly similar results. The design of these habitats was simple. The layout was a rectangle measuring 10 feet by 14 feet, divided into 4 equal sections by electric fences. 3 of these fences sported bridges over which the rats could climb, while one fence lacked such a bridge, essentially creating one long space that wrapped in on itself. Each section was equipped similarly, with a food hopper, water, and nesting areas accessible by spiral staircases. But Calhoun, leveraging his experience with the rats, made special changes to encourage specific behaviors. He enticed the rats to use one of the center pens by making the spiral staircase to that pen's living spaces shorter than the others, though he admits this was a comparatively small factor. But the more insidious change was to their food supply. In half of the experiments, Calhoun supplied powdered food, but in the other half he placed feeders of his own design, consisting of hard pellets behind a wire mesh. Half of his experiments began with 32 mice, the other half with 56, of evenly male and female composition, and all having just reached maturity. Calhoun estimated that approximately 40 rats could comfortably be housed in these enclosures, but he would allow these populations to increase to 80 before he would cull them. Almost immediately after introduction, things began to go awry. The females, unsurprisingly, spread themselves out somewhat evenly through the pens, but after the males jockeyed for dominance and those of highest rank were determined, they began to distribute themselves strangely. Less dominant male rats will typically awaken earlier and begin to wander and forage for food, and due to the design of the pen, this meant that they usually would end up in the center sections to eat. During this time, the dominant...
Okay, so immediately what happened is the females dispersed to a certain section, and the males, they basically just immediately adjusted to a hierarchy. So that's how it started out. And this experiment was a lot smaller than the last one. This one's only a 10 by 14. I think it's 10 by 14 feet experiment. And as you can see how it's sectioned off into 4 pieces. And this place right here has a shorter, all of them got these stairwells. They all got stairwells in them. But this one has the shortest stairwell to reach the top of this encapture that he made. Half, I don't know what side, but half of it has powder food and half of it has pellets, which he said was the most insidious experiment or change to the whole thing. So half of them were eating, I guess there were just 2 different kinds of food supplies. So we're going to see what, I guess, what factor played a big role with the different kind of foods that he laid out, because you have powder and you have pellets, and as soon as they went out, the females went away and basically put themselves somewhere while the males fought and developed a hierarchy. So here we go. Let me run that back one more time so you can hear it.
Began to go awry. The females, unsurprisingly, spread themselves out somewhat evenly through the pens, but after the males jockeyed for dominance and
See, so the females, they evenly dispersed into equal places, but the males went for dominance for a hierarchy.
Those of highest rank were determined, they began to distribute themselves strangely. Less dominant male rats will typically awaken earlier and begin to wander and forage for food, and due to the design of the pen, this meant that they usually would end up in the center sections to eat. During this time, the dominant males of the outer pens would wake up and begin guarding their respective territories. Since there was only one entrance ramp to either end, the dominant males of either pen would bar the return of the less dominant males, forcing the male population to clump in the center pens, while the dominant end males protected what came to be their harems.
Okay, I see what they did. Because all right, so the way this is built is you have 3 stairs that lead to each side. So this stairwell leads to these 2 sides, this stair leads to these 2 sides, this stair leads to these 2 sides. There's nothing that links these 2 sides together. So the dominant males, they took over this side and that side, basically. You know what I mean? So you had a dominant section of males over here, dominant section over males over here. The two dominant males was like, well, look, I got my respectable side, you got your respectable side. I got this side, you got that side. And if we ever got to go to war, it is what it is. But the least dominant ones, they had to share the least favorable portion of this. So then they took their harems of females and kept them for what they wanted them for.
Only of their pens, while the dominant end males protected what came to be their harems. Only a few other deferential males were allowed to remain. These few remaining males began exhibiting odd behavior. Though they would spend most of their time in the burrows with the females, hiding away from the dominant male, they would never attempt to mate with any of them. Instead, perplexingly, they would try to mate with the dominant male, and even more perplexing, the dominant male would not fight these attempts. At the same time as this was happening, the effect of Calhoun's special feeders was taking hold. Since procuring food was such a lengthy process at the hard food feeders, it was common for one rat to join another while in the process of feeding. By this method, the rats slowly became conditioned to eating in the company of other rats until, eventually, the rats would refuse to eat unless another rat was present. Since more rats tended to be in the center pens, this behavior meant that, over time, more and more rats made their way there, further condensing them. This heightened the proximity of an already cramped population. In the experiments with the powdered food, this effect was far less pronounced. With these factors combined, Calhoun noted what he called a behaviorological activity in the rats due to the stress involved in such high population density. For the females, the behavioral sink manifested in reduced capacity for nest building and young rearing. Infant rats are extremely dependent upon their mothers for nearly all things. However, under the effects of the behavioral sink, the mothers would often be interrupted in their nest building practices to engage in some other social activity. As time...
So, with the more populated area, the more populated area increased. And that was the area that had the pellet food, the harder food that was, the food that was harder to retain, the food that was harder to get. But more rats populated to that area, and it had a behavioral sink effect, which the women or the females or the mothers in that area had less time to focus and tend to their young. Interesting.
Wore on, this led to sparser nests which could not house the young properly. If a mother decided to move her litter, she often would only move some of them or scatter them about the pen in separate locations. What's more, when female rats are ready to mate, the males can sense it, and the enclosed space meant that a female could not escape the continuous advances of the males during these periods. Even when they would enter their nests for a reprieve, they would be followed in and harrowed. These factors together resulted in an extremely high infant mortality rate, in one case reaching 96%. For the males, this manifested in different ways. The dominant males would occasionally lash out in violence against the other members of the pen, including infants, often biting and wounding their tails. Among the lower class males were three groups. The first he described as the homosexuals, which he immediately corrects as pansexuals, who would not compete for status but would often attempt to mate with any other rat, regardless of gender or age. Much like in the end pens, these advances went unchallenged. The second group he described as somnambulists, who moved slowly through the pen without interacting with other individuals in any fashion, and the other rats in turn ignored them except in rare circumstances. These rats externally he described as fat, sleek, and healthy looking. But to him, the strangest group was the third, which he named hers. These rats were hyperactive, hypersexual, and pansexual. Despite violence from the dominant males, they would viciously pursue females in heat, eschewing any sort of courtship ritual and following them into their burrows to mate. Later on...
What is pansexual again? I forget what that means. Pansexual is defined as being attracted to people regardless of their gender, including people who don't identify as a specific gender. Pan comes from a Greek word all. Pansexual people can be in a variety of relationships, including straight, passing relationships. However, being pansexual doesn't mean being attracted to everyone, just as a heterosexual person isn't attracted to every person. Okay. Gotcha. Alright, continue.
On and doing any sort of courtship ritual and following them into their burrows to mate. Later on in the experiments, they would often find the corpses of the improperly cared for young, which they would cannibalize. In time, one of Calhoun's assistants would publicly describe these pens as hell. At this point, Calhoun ended the experiments, but he predicted that these pathological changes would have eventually led to the deaths of the colonies. At their conclusion, he would take the 4 healthiest males and females and allow them to breed, but their behavior had been so inexorably altered that none of their pups survived beyond weaning.
Wow.
None of their pups.
Interesting. So then you had the dominant ones over here, but then the less dominant, the inferior, I guess, rats, male rats here, had the harder food to deal with. But as time went on, their sexuality and their promiscuity led to no ambition, and they want to stay away from the dominant ones, so they just basically all gathered and burrowed in the cities together, not fighting to be ambitious and not fighting to fight for dominance among the dominant ones, because the dominant ones had their own, I guess, harems or concubines of their own that they still used. But then down here, you had no ambitious rats as far as males go, and it was just a free-for-all, and there was no structure or order or nothing. It was just chaotic down here. And then when it was over, he took the 4 dominant males and the dominant females and put them together, but due to the environment that they were in, the damage was already done. So they couldn't even tend for the young to continue to reproduce I guess you could say, a morally correct civilization because of the damage that had been done previously to what this environment had put them through.
Survived beyond weaning. This short article enraptured its US audience, and the effects on both the scientific world and popular culture were immediate. People began to relate Calhoun's rat experiments to modern city life, and in an era where fear of social deviance was reaching an extreme high, it was largely seen as a reflection of the current time and where society could be heading, egged on by Calhoun's provocative language and allegorical design of his test environment, made to look like a city.
Yeah, because I mean, it was like, you're seeing what happens when there's sexual promiscuity and deviant behavior constantly going on. The effects that it had on a community, and even when they took the 4 dominant females and males out and had them reproduce, the effects of the environment had hurt them so much that they weren't even able to wean for their young, and they couldn't keep their species alive anymore, even after taking them out of that environment and putting them somewhere else. The effect of the previous environment had messed them up so much. So it's the power of degeneracy and promiscuity that it has, and how it can completely destroy a society. Interesting.
Population density quickly became a common topic. Psychologist Carl Rogers, in his work Some Social Issues Which Concern Me, stated that, quote, "The resemblance to human behavior is frightening. In humans, we see poor family relationships, the lack of caring, the complete alienation, the magnetic attraction of overcrowding, the lack of involvement which is so great that it permits people to watch a long, drawn-out murder without so much as calling the police. Perhaps all city dwellers are inhabitants of a behavioral sink." Unquote.
That's crazy. He's right, because you were seeing young rats not being tended to. There was no caring of the young being nurtured. Sometimes the young would get gnawed off or chewed on or hurt or cannibalized. There was no structure, there was no order, there was no family unit, there was nothing going on, and just the sheer overcrowding of the population and the deviant behavior and the high promiscuity, it was just like an anything goes free for all. And with that behavior, that civilization was bound to fall. And it's, I mean, you can compare that to what we're seeing today in a sense. You really can. And you can honestly compare that to Sodom and Gomorrah in the Bible. Because it was a free-for-all, anything went, anything goes. That's pretty interesting to look at.
Quote, soon after, studies of dense urban environments were conducted to see if these effects translated directly to humans, but what they found was inconclusive and unsatisfying. Despite the suggestions of Calhoun's rats, humans in cities reacted differently or sometimes opposite the manner that researchers expected, depending on the location. No matter how they tried, no evidence of a widespread behavioral sync could be found in urban areas. But this did not dissuade Calhoun. Even as others explored the problem of overcrowding, Calhoun frantically continued his research. Now a celebrated success and emboldened by the public acceptance of his ideas, he resumed his work at NIM on an even larger scale, though again away from the public eye. He spent his time on new subjects as he continued to perfect his enclosures and experiments until finally, after 11 years, Calhoun revealed his magnum opus through an article he entitled Death Squared, which was published in the journal Proceedings of the Royal Society of Medicine in January of 1973. The lengthy opening to this article was undeniably apocalyptic. Calhoun wrote, I shall largely speak of mice, but my thoughts are on man, on healing, on life and its evolution. Threatening life and evolution are the two deaths, death of the spirit and death of the body. Evolution, in terms of ancient wisdom, is the acquisition of access to the tree of life. Unquote. He goes on to heavily reference revelations and of the riders of the apocalypse, using them to proclaim that the Hippocratic Oath applies not.
I'm going to read the rest of it. This takes us back to the white horse of the apocalypse, which with its rider set out to conquer the forces that threaten the spirit with death. Further in Revelations we note, to him who conquers, I will grant to eat the tree of life, which is in the paradise of God. And further on Revelations, the leaves of the tree were for the healing of nations. It's just like it's actually what I just said earlier. He's comparing it to the Bible, which is interesting. It's very interesting. The evolution in terms of ancient wisdom is the acquisition of the access.
Not only to the body, but to the spirit. After this dramatic introduction, he described his test. For the most part, these new experiments were similar to his 1963 trials, including unlimited access to food and water, protection from the elements and predators, and safeguards against disease. Many parts, however, were drastically altered. As Calhoun mentions against disease, access to food experiments were similar to reduction. Both applies not only to the body, but to the spirit. After this dramatic introduction, he described his test. For the most part, these new experiments were similar to his 1963 trials, including unlimited access to food and water, protection from the elements and predators, and safeguards against disease. Many parts, however, were drastically altered. As Calhoun mentions in his introduction, the Norway rats used in his first publicized experiments were replaced with albino house mice, which were taken from a breeding group from the National Institutes of Health made specifically to prevent communicable disease. To fit his new subjects, Calhoun had designed an entirely new enclosure.
So he's doing a new experiment, different type of rats and mice. He's doing a different type of mice this time around, which is interesting. He's doing a new experiment. It's the same, I guess, utopia as far as food and everything goes, but there were some changes.
This version was much more vertical, with 16 wall-mounted housing areas for the rats at the tops of long metal tubes, which Calhoun called walk-up apartments. At the bottom of each apartment was a virtually unlimited supply of food, water, and nesting material. With the space provided, Calhoun estimated that it could potentially hold 3,840 mice. He named this enclosure Universe 25.
Let's see. How big is it? Because he gave him these apartment let him say that again.
This version was much more vertical, with 16 wall-mounted housing areas.
More vertical, 16 wall-mounted housing units.
For the rats at the tops of long metal tubes.
So it's like a city built more vertical with hierarchy, well not hierarchy, but high-rise apartment units in it.
which Calhoun called walk-up apartments. At the bottom of each apartment was a virtually unlimited supply of food, water, and nesting material. With the space provided, Calhoun estimated that it could potentially hold 3,840 mice. He named this enclosure Universe 25. Calhoun's methods also had changed. Rather than instituting population controls, he would interfere far less. His plan was to place 8 mice in the enclosure, 4 male and 4 female, and simply watch and wait. Calhoun observed 4 distinct phases in the ensuing experiment. Phase A was predictable, constituting the time period before the first new mice were born, which ended up being 104 days. For the mice, these days were, quote, marked by considerable social turmoil. After the social order was established and the first brood was born, the population began phase. After the social order...
Okay, so let's see, the first phase. 4 pairs of 48-day-old Balpsy strain house mice were introduced into the 16-cell universe after each mouse had been isolated for 21 days following weaning. They followed a period of 104 days before the first litters were born. These 104 days were marked by considerable social turmoil among these 8 mice until they became adjusted to each other and to their expanded surroundings. Okay.
Order was established and the first brood was born, the population began Phase B, which Calhoun named the exploitation phase. During this time, the mice doubled in number every 55 days as new young grew to maturity and had their own young. This doubling continued until day 315, after which the doubling rate slowed to a rate of 145 days, nearly 3 times as long. By this point, the different broods had clumped into one side of the pen, exhibiting the same sort of clumping as the Norway rats, but this time without any coaxing from Calhoun's designs. This change in the rate of procreation marked Phase C, which Calhoun labeled as the stagnation phase. This is when the most notable events occurred, and they eerily mirrored Calhoun's rat experiments. In a natural setting, those mice which find no social niche will leave the colony, but in this experiment, emigration was impossible, and so those forced to remain withdrew from society. These dejected males formed a large pool in the center of the enclosure. They quickly became characterized by both their inactivity and their many scars and wounds. Occasionally, they would grow agitated and attack one another, and with nowhere to retreat, the recipient of these attacks would simply lay still and endure the assault. The outcast females, rather than joining them, would retreat to the highest apartments and live quietly among one another. It was during this time that the behavioral sink manifested, with mice gathering around specific food hoppers in large numbers, while others remained almost entirely untouched, showing how, again, the need for social interaction had become so intertwined with the need for food that the former had overtaken the latter. The males who had won the initial fights also were placed under extreme stress. As more and more mice reached maturity from within and without, the leaders of the social groups continually had to patrol and defend their territory. Eventually, they reached the point of exhaustion and could not defend the females within their group. These females were therefore forced to defend the nest themselves, even when nursing their young, leading to generalized aggressive behavior. This aggression would inevitably be misdirected onto their young, who would be wounded by their mothers and forced to leave the nest before they were finished weaning.
So, let's go back to this part right here. So the ones who basically didn't have no ambition or no purpose congregated here in the middle. Then you had, let's see what he named these.
With mice gathering around specific food hoppers in large numbers, sink and live quietly among one another. Occasionally, they would grow agitated and attack one another, and with nowhere to retreat, the recipient of these attacks would simply lay still and endure the assault.
So then the ones who had no purpose would act out violently amongst each other, basically eliminating each other with no sense of purpose or ambition.
The outcast females, rather than joining them, would retreat to the highest apartment.
So then the females, the outcast females, they went to the highest part
and lived quietly among...
And lived quietly, like he said, amongst everything, but they retreated to the highest part. And basically just another form of survival mode.
One another. It was during this...
And the females congregated with one another in got away from all the nonsense and stayed up high, away from all of the stuff that was going on at the bottom.
This time that the behavioral sync manifested, with mice gathering around specific food hoppers in
See, so some mice gathered around these specific food hoppers. So you had these here, the food hoppers were here, and the mice gathered around
large numbers, while others remained almost entirely untouched, showing how, again, the need for social interaction had become so intertwined with the need for food.
Oh, wow.
That the former had overtaken the latter.
Wow.
The males who had won the initial fights also were placed under extreme.
So as the males in the bottom are fighting for hierarchy at the bottom, the females just shift away into the highest portions, and I'm assuming the dominant males were probably up there too. That's my assumption, because he didn't mention anything about that. But a lot of the females, they lived amongst each other up in the high places while all of this craziness was going on down at the bottom, and they stayed away from it. And a bunch of mouse congregated next to a bunch of the food sources, and then there were some other ones that remained untouched, completely unscathed, untouched whatsoever. That's interesting.
Extreme stress. As more and more mice reached maturity from within and without, the leaders of the social groups continually had to patrol and defend their territory. Eventually, they reached the point of exhaustion and could not defend the females within their group. Yeah. These females were therefore forced to defend the nest themselves, even when nursing their young, leading to generalized aggressive behavior. This aggression would inevitably be misdirected onto their young, who would be wounded by their mothers and forced to leave the nest before they were finished weaning. Much like the rats, the mother mice would also forget some of their young when moving from one nesting site to another. Due to the added stress of defending their territory, sometimes the mothers would reabsorb unborn mice in the womb, further reducing the fertility rates. Calhoun writes, "For all practical purposes, there had been a death of societal organization by the end of Phase C. Finally, there was Phase D, which Calhoun entitled the Death Phase. This phase was characterized largely by an entire generation by their mothers early and forced to leave the nest, and they were therefore unable to exhibit normal social behavior. This manifested in numerous ways. The females of this generation had far fewer children, and those that did have children lacked the maternal instincts necessary to raise them beyond weaning." Calhoun goes on to describe the males of this generation. Quote, "Male counterparts to these non-reproducing females were soon dubbed the beautiful ones. They never engaged in sexual approaches toward females, and they never engaged in fighting, and so they had no wound or scar tissue. Thus, their pelage remained in excellent condition. Their behavioral repertoire became largely confined to eating, drinking, sleeping, and grooming, none of which carried any social implications beyond that represented by contiguity of bodies." Unquote. As the last mice with reproductive instincts aged beyond their fertility, Calhoun declared that the last male would die around day 1780 of the experiment, effectively rendering the colony dead as it would be unable to produce any more young. His present tense language implied that, when the article was published, the colony was still technically alive, though its final fate was practically sealed. Calhoun closed his article with a call to action. "For an animal so complex as man, there is no logical reason why a comparable sequence of events should not also lead to species extinction. If opportunities for role fulfillment fall far short of the demand by those capable of filling roles and having expectancies to do so, only violence and disruption of social organization can follow. Individuals born under these circumstances will be so out of touch with reality as to be incapable even of alienation. Their most complex behaviors will become fragmented. Acquisition, creation, and utilization of ideas appropriate for life in a post-industrial, cultural, conceptual, technological society will have been blocked. Just as biological generativity in the mouse involves this species' most complex behaviors, so does ideational generativity for man. Loss of these respective complex behaviors means death of the species."
So basically, at the end of it, you had one male rat or mouse that was left, and when he died, you still had female mice that were left. But once you have female mice that are left, It just the same way it would be the other way around. If you only had male mice, you only had female mice left, which meant that the population was doomed. It was it. They were just going to live out the rest of their existence and die off, and their species will be done. So even with one male rat left, they were still not reproducing with each other. So, and it's saying right here, if the opportunities for role fulfillment fall far short of demand by those capable of fulfilling the roles and having expectancies to do so, only violence and disruption of social organizations can follow. That's basically telling you the order of a family unit is very important, and if the two, male or female, do not fulfill their roles and they fall short of the demand of those capable of fulfilling those roles, then the only thing left to happen is violence and disruption of a social organization. So the divide between the male and the female, if the two don't come together and fulfill those roles, then the only thing you have left is violence and disruption, which is chaos. And if anybody is born under this chaotic civilization, then they will be so out of touch with reality and will be incapable even of alienation. Wow. And they will be in their most complex behaviors will become fragmented. That's deep. But it's just telling you that the importance of family unit and structure and duty that you have to fulfill a role, it's that important. Because if you don't, then not fulfilling your role, you're doomed to only violence and disruptions of a social organization because there is no order in your household, which again, you can go right back to the Bible. This is biblical. This is the purpose of family units. This is the purpose of male and female coming together and fulfilling their roles and doing their duties for one another. It's not for who's superior and inferior. It's for this reason right here. Social organization. That's what it's for. The betterment of for the population of a species. You need to have social organization. So there's a duty that one must have in order for a species to remain intact for the betterment of society. That is wild, because you saw that there was one male rat left, and once he died off, that was like, it's done. These last remaining female rats are gonna just live out the rest of their life, and it's over. The species is dead. There's no coming back from this. And then my simple question would be to this: in the history of life itself, in the history of life in general, my question is, how many times has this happened? You know what I mean? Like, how many times has this happened? Is this a recurring event that happens over time? Because, you know, when we dig, as far as archaeologists are concerned, it's no secret that we find different types of species according to their bone structure. You know what I mean? So it's interesting to think about that and to look at this experiment and relate it to how we're living today. It's very interesting to see the stark contrast between the two.
But even as Calhoun was performing his research on mice, others had been at work applying his theories to humans. By this point, researchers had moved to more specific locations of overcrowding rather than the generalized location of cities, testing the effects on students in dormitories and patients at hospitals. But the most fruitful example they discovered was in prisons. Paul Paulus from the University of Texas wrote that prisons were the perfect place for this sort of study, describing the social interaction between inmates as intense, prolonged, inescapable, and realistic.
But you don't have male or female in prisons. They're usually isolated or segregated.
The prison in the study also offered the closest analog to Calhoun's rat experiments, since the prisoners could not escape the company of others, even in their communal cells. There, they found connections between over-socialization and suicide, violence, psychopathy, and stress. After such studies, environmental psychologists began to discover the problem. They identified two different kinds of density: physical density and social density. Physical density was the amount of space per person, while social density was the number of individuals occupying a space. They found that social density was the much more important factor, as individuals in high social density were unable to control their interactions with others. Based on this research, human environments could be designed to at least partially mitigate these issues, allowing those living within them the privacy they needed to maintain healthy social interaction. Outside of scientific discourse, Calhoun's rhetoric has maintained its strength through the years, with different groups of all political persuasions bending his results to support their views on social degradation, however they may define it. Among more scholarly sources, Calhoun has been both lauded and criticized for his work. Those who support him cite his forward thinking about overpopulation, while those who deride him cite his misrepresentation of the actual social problems within cities, guiding discourse away from the true causes of societal discord. But no matter what those in the modern day think of his research, his influence on the way America views its cities is undeniable.
Okay. I think that was very interesting. That was a very interesting take. The only thing I don't agree with was the prison part, because the prison part didn't have both genders in there. It didn't have male and female in there. It just had, to my understanding, it would just have one gender in there. It would just have either male or female in there. So you couldn't really get the same experiment as you did with the mouse or the mice and rats. So your best experiment would have to be from within the city or the college dorms, but they didn't really expound on that too much. However, according to the mice, on the experiment that they did where he just let it go and just kind of see how it panned out and how it played itself out in the end, it's kind of, I mean, we're seeing that now. And I mean, you can go through history books and kind of see how empires fall, and there's always this striking similarity on how all empires fall, and it's economics that make it fall, and social experiments that really turn everything upside down and bring it to its economic destruction and its social destruction as well at the same time, when you isolate or whenever you pin the two genders against each other. And they also added in there, whenever you have people too close, or I guess in this case mice or mouse too close to each other in a dense, close-knit environment, males go for hierarchy, women disperse and get away as much as they can, and some women get caught up in the, the kerfluffle of, the compact, I guess, bottom low class of the society. And then you have some women or some females that go up to the higher class society, but then they congregate amongst each other, while the males kind of like free float and roam off and either fight for dominance or try to stay out of it. But then even at the same time, you would have the women or the females who kind of didn't even want to interact with the males. And that's what we're seeing now. That's pretty crazy that it kind of panned out that way. That was really interesting to look at. That was really crazy to look at it from that perspective. It was really crazy because we're seeing that now. Genders being placed against each other. Neither one are seeing eye to eye as far as that goes. And that does have a strong impact on the economy, has a strong impact on society, and it proves the importance of family units and how that old saying goes: it takes a village to raise a child, but you have to have your roles and duty set up for each other, and it needs to be ingrained in you, on you understanding that this is what you're supposed to do and this is what the other is supposed to do to come together for a long-lasting legacy of one's legacy, for one's family unit, for one's last name, for one to progress forward. And I mean, you can't ignore that this is what the Bible stresses, and this is what it teaches. I say stresses, this is what it teaches. So the family unit and just being able to be at one and live amongst one another and have the family unit as one is supposed to, your legacy and your lineage will progress forward and move on, while the rest fade away, as it was told in Sodom and Gomorrah. Well, with that being said, I'm not even going to move on to the next segment of the show. We're just going to end it on that note right there, because that was an interesting experiment, and to look at it and think of it, how things are and how things work out. It's pretty eerie. But at the end of the day, you have to take heed to the fact that there's a way to do things, and to stay in the order of nature, because nature is always going to win. If you stay in the order of nature, follow the order of nature, follow the laws of nature, you will prevail. With that being said, y'all, thank y'all for tuning into today's show. Thank you. Greatly appreciate by everybody that came in, that stopped by, that came in and said hello. I greatly appreciate y'all. Thank y'all so much. That's going to conclude today's show. Like I said, here's the Cash App and Venmo. If you choose to donate, appreciate it. If not, hey, it's greatly appreciated. And if you don't, hey, it's okay. It is what it is. Thank you for coming by, showing your support. And like, again, we're on Twitch, Kick, and YouTube. And we'll be back in here tomorrow for another show in the morning around the same time. Just stay tuned for the notifications. Turn your notifications on so you know when the next video or the next live stream is dropping. And we're going to have a new workout video dropping in our YouTube channel here pretty soon. And as always, we'll see y'all later. Love y'all. And we'll catch you tomorrow morning at around the same time. And we out of here. Peace.